Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is our presentation about site selection of MaxPro Aceton Company. Company members. Our general manager is Ahmad Ziad bin Rasidi. Project manager is Muhammad Haziq Fitri bin Muhammad Rosli. Operation engineer is Muhammad Daniel Haikal bin Nur Azlan. Process engineer is Ahmad Rais bin Zahari. Environmental engineer is Muhammad Luqman bin Najir or Najib. Introduction. The method production of acetone that we use is decomposition of isopropyl alcohol. The raw material for decomposition of isopropyl alcohol is isopropyl alcohol and water as a catalyst. 1 mole isopropyl alcohol react with 1 mole water, produce 1 mole acetone and 1 mole hydrogen. This process requires a lot of water. Process production. Isopropyl alcohol and water are heated in heat exchanger. The endothermic reaction are involved due to the heat transfer. The hydrogen produced is out as a byproduct. Acetone and isopropyl alcohol wash with water in absorption column. Pure acetone obtained from distillation column as top product. Isopropyl alcohol cycle flow to use again.
Alright, I proceed with the next slide, which is plant location. Our plant will be located at Kampung Teluk Kalong 24100 Kijal, Terengganu. As we all know, Terengganu is a long estate which is located beside the beach. This is the satellite image from the Google Map of our plant location. The empty land here is where our plant will be built, right beside to the source of water. To produce acetone in our company, we have to use a lot of water. And this is the portrait of our future plant site.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Ahmad Ziad bin Rasidi. So next I will explain about the community factor. As we all know that Teluk Kalong is our plant will be located, which is at Teluk Kalong, Kemaman, Terengganu. Facilities around the plant also take effect on the location of the plant. If nearby facilities for the workers is not enough, the plant will have a burden to subsidize the facilities to the workers. It is important to grow community nearby to make community growth and facilitate the workers. Facilities nearby can make the community become progressive. At Teluk Kalong, we already have a residence to the workers, so the workers can create a new community there. That resident also located nearby with our plant, so the workers will get a lot easier to go to the plant. Next, we also have Sekolah Kebangsaan Teluk Kalong, which is for their children's studies. For the further studies, we also have University College Tati nearby our plant. At Teluk Kalong also, we have a lot of restaurant. So if the workers hungry or anything else, they can go to the nearby restaurant at Teluk Kalong. Teluk Kalong also, we have recreational place, for example Bukit Kambing and Pantai Teluk Kalong. Next is flood and fire protection. Plant always need to be prepared for natural disasters, for example flood or hurricane. Since the plant was located near the beach, it was low probability to get flood, but The location had prepared drainage system to prevent any flood occurs to the village and the plant. This is the example that the example of drainage system that was located in Teluk Kalong. Fire protections. Since our production related with heat and fire, we must consider about fire protection in our plant. We also need to consider a few aspects before locating the plant. For example, the plant need to be located near fire department if any emergency happen. When we looking at the picture, the nearest fire station is in Kijal. It take only 14 minutes to get the fireman or fire truck arrive at Teluk Kalong. So our plant will always in their protection. So it will prevent any harm or any fire to the plant.
Our next selection site factor that we choose is the climate condition in Teluk Kalong. The general climate throughout the year in Teluk Kalong are relatively similar to the rest of Peninsular Malaysia, where they have a high annual rainfall, a relatively uniform high humidity and temperature, also known as hot and humid. And this parameter are also affected by the monsoon season, where already categorized into four seasons, which is northeast monsoon that happen from November to March, the intermonsoon, the transitional monsoon that happen from March to May, and next is the southwest monsoon that happen from May to early October, and another intermonsoon from October to November. This is the example of data of rainfall amount in Kemaman district for year 2019, where it shows the transition into each season of monsoon. Next is the data of climate in Kemaman district. All the data that taken is from the year of 2009 to 2019. The first data is the rainfall amount in Kemaman district. The graph taken is based on the data of rainfall amount in Kemaman district from the year 2009 to 2019. Okay, from January 2009 to February 2019, most of the rainfall amount didn't even pass the 200 mm per day mark, except for the November 2009. And the highest rainfall per day is on November 2019, where it reached the 779.85 mm per day. And the average rainfall amount in Kemaman district is 2,888 mm on an average year. Is the humidity. As we can see, the humidity in Kemaman district is relatively uniform, where the average is about 80% of humidity. And next data is on the wind speed in Kemaman district, where the average speed in Kemaman district is about 8 km per hour to 9 km per hour. But the wind speed can be affected by the monsoon season, where when it's a northeast monsoon, the wind speed can reach to up to 10 km per hour. The final data is the temperature in Kemaman district. The lowest temperature that it can reach is 21 degrees Celsius usually when it's in monsoon season, and the average temperature is about 25 degrees Celsius, and the highest temperature that the district can reach is 32 degrees Celsius. Based on the data that I have shown, we believe that Teluk Kalong is a strategic place for our acetone production plant. This is because the rainfall in Teluk Kalong has an average rainfall amount that is similar to the rest of Peninsular Indonesia, unless it is in the monsoon season, and the humidity also is a relatively high uniform throughout the year, so that it is not too low for the product to dry up and it's not too high for a bacteria to growing. And next is the wind speed, where the wind speed in Teluk Kalong has an average of 8 km to 9 km per hour, unless it's monsoon season where it can raise up to 10 km per hour. So there will be not much difference in the vapor pressure. And lastly is the temperature. The temperature in Teluk Kalong usually is between 25 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. But when in the monsoon season, it can go as low as 21 degrees Celsius. But the temperature will not affect the equipment that we use, since it did not go high enough for the equipment to malfunction.
Okay, next is raw material availability. The source of raw materials is one of the most important factors influencing the selection of the plant site, because without raw material, then the whole project would be useless. The raw material used in this company is isopropyl alcohol. From the place we have chose, which is Teluk Kalong, Terengganu, the isopropyl alcohol can be obtained at Elite Advanced Materials Sidang Berhad, which located at Rawang, Selangor. The Elite Advanced Materials Sidang Berhad will be the supplier for our company. The raw material will be sent by tank truck, and it takes 4 to 5 hours drive through highways, because the supplier is located quite close to our company. Then the cost for the transportation also can be reduced. The isopropyl alcohol should be stored in a tightly closed container in a cool, dry and well ventilated area, because isopropyl alcohol is a very flammable chemical compound. After that is transportation. Usually, water, railroads and highways are common means of transportation used by major industrial concerns. By the way, the location of the plant that we have decided is very strategic, because it is located near to the ocean and also highways. Located near the ocean gives the advantages to the company to use water transportation, because maintenance cost of water transport is quite less compared to highways and railroad. It also very cheap and useful for bulky goods, because it can be transported easily at little cost. And also, water transportation can be operated during natural calamities like flood and rain, when rail or road transport is disrupted. Besides that, road transport also necessary, because it can provide service in rural areas and also door-to-door service. This type of transport is very much needed, because road transport is most suited for carrying goods and people to and from rural areas which are not served by rail, water or air transport. And then I will pass to Ama.
For the last slide is about the plant layout. This is the plant layout of Convent Acetone production. The process units and ancillary buildings must utilize the economical flow of materials and personnel around the site. Hazardous process units must be installed away from other buildings to avoid if any accidents happen in the plant from spreading widely. The ancillary buildings and services which required on these sites are storages for raw materials, which is isopropyl alcohol, and products, which is acetone, to be storage in the tank farms and warehouses, maintenance workshop, stores for maintenance and operating supplies, laboratories for process control, fire stations and other emergency services, other utilities such as steam boilers, compressed air, power generation, refrigeration and transformer stations, effluent disposal plant, offices for general administration, canteen and other amenity buildings such as medical center. That's all from us. Thank you.